Sa dating dalawa na makadinde. Bumigyan ng ngiti, ano mo na bigay. Because you can't really have play for my day. Jerry, you feel my pain. Like but
All right, beautiful people. What's going on? Good morning. Good morning. Let me get this going here real quick. All right. What is going on, family? How are we doing today? Happy Tuesday. Happy July. Let me show you my video here. There we go. What's going on, everybody? How are we doing? I feel like it's been a super long week, and we got a short week. Isn't that crazy? But what's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are doing great. Great morning, my brother. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. What's up, Amanda? Let's go over some charts. Let's go over what's going on in the markets. I gotta say, I gotta say, I gotta be the first to say this, but what the fuck happened to Iran and Israel? That was like some that was faster than what's it called? That flash fashion? That was faster than some Shein fashion. That was quick, gone. Started, kind of calmed down, and markets are booming. We got the S&P all-time highs. We got our, I haven't even checked my, well, correction. I hadn't checked my stock portfolio for a couple of, I did it one time when I was here live, about 2 months ago. And I was expecting it to be, down with everything that was going on. And then I was paying attention. I was going through the charts and I was like, let me look at the charts and see what's going on. And then I'm like, yo, like this is looking juicy, right? I was like, whoa, look at that. And it's not even at the high we wanted to. Nvidia is killing it. All right. Meta is killing it. Tesla went a little bit under the $300 mark, which is cool, expected, but they're killing it too. I've been looking a lot into Tesla. I told you guys that was going to be a stock that no matter what, it was going to explode, right? We were seeing they're launching this robo taxi stuff. If you guys seen Texas, they're delivering the cars delivering by themselves, right? And I made a joke yesterday. I say, well, check this out. If the cars is being made and they're delivering themselves to your house, right? So the car leaves the factory and it drives straight to your house, and then you get it delivered. Guess what's gonna happen if you don't make that payment? The car's gonna go right back the other way. I just an assumption. I assume it's gonna probably work that way too, right? Oh, he missed his payment. Oh, he's behind 3 months, 2 months. Repo, boom, press the button. Cars goes right back the same way it came. But yeah, family, we are seeing the stock market completely obliterate, do so well. Now, I gotta mention a couple things, right? So the big one being this is not happening because the tensions between Israel and Iran settled down. All right. They're kind of like chilling. They're on ice right now for a little bit. Right. That thing is just relaxing. At any moment it can explode. Iran made some crazy threat to New York City specifically the other day. Trump kind of said, "All right, you're drunk, buddy. Relax, calm down. Let's. I'm not gonna do nothing. We're gonna let it go. We're gonna chill, right?" But this is majority of this is happening, um, because of the tariffs, right? Because of what's happening, the tariffs negotiations are coming to a conclusion, a final settlement. China, that's a big one, right? Canada, Mexico, Germany, France, UK, India. These are big, big nations, big trading nations that are coming to an agreement and they're actually making good tariff decisions on both sides, right? So let me give you guys a little story, which is this is crazy, fam, and I wish I could make this up, right? But this is true. You can look this up. So while Trump was at the G7 meetings with NATO, the NATO meetings over there. And where was it? Switzerland or whatever he was. He got a phone call. He got a phone call because they were reviewing the budget sheets, the balance sheets for the first half of the year, right? We're coming up on July. Once July begins, officially half the year is done, which is today, right? And they said, "Listen, Mr. President, we have a problem, and the problem is that we're running the budget balance, and we seem to have $88 billion unaccounted for." He said, "What is that? What do you mean?" He says, "Well, we have money here that we don't know where it came from. We have a surplus. We haven't seen a surplus in decades. We don't know where it came from. We have checked everywhere. We have checked DOD, DOE. We have checked taxes, right? The IRS is not reporting it. They're not doing it. They haven't received, right? It's crazy. We haven't received 88 billion and we don't know where it's coming from. And we wanted to see if you can help us out." And all Trump said was this. He said, "Well, have you checked the tariffs?" And they said, "No, we haven't." He says, "Can you please check the tariffs?" Sure enough, they check the tariffs, and an hour goes by. They call back and says, "Okay, we found exactly where the $88 billion came from." He said, "You're welcome." That's it. He hung up the phone. Yo, $88 billion, and we haven't even made agreements with these nations. That's the crazy part. And it's a surplus they haven't seen, and when they literally said like decades, like they never haven't seen. Go to the balance sheet, there's no surplus, and we have a surplus in the first time ever in God knows how long. Probably maybe as old as I am. So when people were saying that this is gonna be crazy, doesn't work, it works, fam. This is simple shit, right? And you're seeing it in the markets. We're seeing the projection of it. We're seeing the stock markets, the S&P, even during a time where we were like, right? It felt like it was the cold. It felt like it was the. Well, I wasn't old enough, but some of you may have. But during the Cuban Missile Crisis, right, when it was that nuke that was pointing right at the US from Cuba, and they were hovering over the button, like, "I'm gonna push this button, I'm gonna push this button." And there was big tensions between Cuba and the US, right? That's kind of what we got to, fam. We got to the point where we had to, bomb a nuclear facility, and then, that was kind of like chill. That was like, all right, that was the most that it went. And they were throwing missiles back and forth between them and them. And then they threw missiles at a base in Qatar, American base, all of them missed. So, people thought like after that, like, yo, if one soldier would have died or something because of that, forget it. Like it would have been all out war. Thank God nobody did, and there was no casualties, no damage because they all missed. So okay, cool. They said, "Okay, cool, you got it out of your system. Now let's negotiate." So they did the ceasefire shit, didn't last long. Then they did whatever they're doing now. So it seems to be at bay for now, right? So markets have a time to recover. Everything's looking beautiful. Crypto. Let's talk crypto. What's going on with crypto? Why is Bitcoin not exploding the way you want it to? Because it's not time yet, family. It's not time yet. And as a matter of fact, Bitcoin is facing strong, strong, strong resistance, right? I'm going to show you guys right here. And I am still waiting. I think this is the longest I've waited for a Bitcoin play, a Bitcoin move, a scenario, but it keeps creating these patterns, right? So we're looking at here a push to the high and a small decline of lower lows, which is indication of a trend reversal. You see it right here. It's minute. It's not even massive, right? And we have this, stagnant movement to the side, or what we call a key level, which is the support. Is holding the price up right here. And we want to see the price being held up from one scenario and sustain, and then price starts to decline slowly. And then at one point that price gets wedged. Now, the other thing that we could be looking into is that this pattern could eventually be forming a flag. It could potentially be forming a flag, a bullish flag to the upside. And if we're going to start seeing Bitcoin start pulling that bullish flag to the upside, then there's a couple things we need to do, right? First of all, we need a couple of major closes. And I'm going to use my clean chart. No, not that one. This one right here. I'm going to use this to show kind of what I'm looking at. So I'm going to take this and drag it out over here for a moment. I'll leave that right there. And what I want to do, is draw this. All right. So we have that. And then we're going to have, matter of fact, you know what? I'll show you a better way to do it because I just realized something. So a parallel channel. So I'll go here, down this way, and then Pam. All right. So we got this channel that Bitcoin is creating. And once we start seeing this channel, we are automatically going to assume we are in a downtrend because that's exactly what we are. Bitcoin starts to downtrend momentarily for the at least for the foreseeable future. We start seeing this boom, 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 right? Lower lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. And then we're going to focus on this area right here. This area right here will be one. And I'm going to push it. Oh, sorry. I'm going to push this right there. All right. So what we want to see in the scenario that's about to play, there are two possible scenarios, and they're not going to kick in. They won't take place until price hits this line right here. All right. And what's going to happen is the price will either continue to accrue. See, so I want to see this. So push up, accumulate, push up, accumulate, push up. And then this could be the moment where price starts to kind of reverse itself, starts to create downtrend, exhaustion, comes here. Now from here, you can have accumulation where it continues to squeeze, and then eventually catches enough volume right here to push it out of the zone and push on up. Which on the daily chart, this will put us somewhere towards the end of the year, maybe after when we start quarter 4. And if you guys know anything about Bitcoin, I always talk about it. Quarter 4 is always the strongest quarter, right? Quarter 4 is like it's like Bitcoin is like LeBron James in a quarter 4, right? It goes all out. So we have that scenario right there. The next one could be same exact thing, pushes up, boom, 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 and then it comes down here, breaks out, retests, and then it continues down to the downside over here. And then we have a couple of zones to look at, right? Boom, 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 boom. Comes over here, breaks out, retest, continues. And we got this zone right here and continuation. Could be next zone right there. These are two possible scenarios we could be looking at for Bitcoin. Now, there's a lot, I believe, right now, at least for Bitcoin. Bitcoin has become, or for momentarily, Bitcoin is acting like it's immune to these big news for it, right? And it's not that they're directly tied to Bitcoin because Bitcoin already got used to the fact that, hey, Michael Saylor buys me every week, so I don't really care about it. I know what's gonna happen. I don't really move because of it. Um, I know that I have an ETF and I perform, we perform billions of dollars weekly in ETF purchases, transactions, liquidations, all that stuff. I don't really care for it, right? And we got ETFs for XRP. You got Coinbase launching a credit card with American Express. You have Visa launching. You got MasterCard launching. You got banks. You got Goldman Sachs. You got that Deutsche Bank launching crypto acquisitions. You have Jerome Powell literally talking when he's testifying, saying that the banks have the right and they can do whatever they want. They can launch Bitcoin for their own customers, and they should have a way for customers to store their Bitcoin. Boom, cool. People, I think that's going to be good. Bitcoin doesn't care. So after all these good news, if you asked me back in 2020, 2021, these would have been news that Bitcoin would have been off the fucking wall. And if either gonna go up like crazy or down like crazy. But Bitcoin is at this point is like, oh, okay, Oh, we're gonna buy more Bitcoin for the federal government and we're gonna create a reserve. It doesn't care. It doesn't care. It's like a little bored 16-year-old kid that just wants headphones and music and doesn't care about nothing else in the world. That's where Bitcoin is at right now. I can't exactly tell you what's going to make this coin propel to the next level because everything we thought was going to make it move, already happened, and we already hit $112,000. We already hit six figures. What's the next phase? We don't know yet. We don't know. I really don't know what other news can push this to the next level, right? They're bringing mining back to America. They're making crypto tax free here in Florida. Um, American made crypto capital gains is tax free now, right? All of this stuff, but Bitcoin doesn't seem to really care. Bitcoin right now is having a hell of a time hovering above 100,000 and below 107, 108. That's kind of where its sweet spot is at. And when I don't start, me personally as a trader, as an investor, when I start to see this massive, because this right here has to be, and I'm gonna draw this in black because it has to make sense to me. This right here has to be the strongest resistance. Shoot. Like it has to be a strong resistance. Like that's like it's not breaking that point. It's like really, really tough to break it. And I feel like before it breaks it, in order for it, like if you're gonna run into a wall, and if you're running into the wall from here and you keep doing this, right, you're not gonna break into it. It'll take a lot of time. But if you start pulling back and then start diving at it from way back here, now you have a better shot. You have more momentum, more strength. And I think that's what Bitcoin needs to do. So I literally still believe that Bitcoin needs to. And at this point, it's crucial for Bitcoin to come down over here, accumulate more momentum, and break through that fucking barrier, right? Right? The DeLorean doesn't go back in time unless it hits 88 miles an hour. Right now, we're not hitting that 88. We're hitting 50, 45, 65, 70, and it's not pushing, right? We got to go back here, and fucking Doc Brown says 88, boom, we're fucking out of here. We're gone. We can go right through, but we're not, it's not happening. It's not happening. Hope you guys understood. I hope you guys watch the movies to understand what I just said, right? I'm trying to make it sound real simple. But that's the barrier that we're coming across. We're not breaking through that zone because there's not enough momentum for Bitcoin to push through it. And what's happening right now is not big enough, right? We got Apple wanting to launch a Bitcoin wallet. Bitcoin said, don't really care about it. You know what I mean? It's becoming cocky, not gonna lie. So at this point, even though while it's here, fam, right? Stack sats, buy some Bitcoin, mind your business, and just keep buying. I mean, Solana's been performing well. Um, Looking at stocks too, it's just there's nothing else to them. You could trade. I haven't traded in a while, honestly. I haven't made the time to move my stuff to KOT, right? I haven't opened it. I haven't done nothing with it. Whatever. Matter of fact, um, excuse me. Trading View is running a big sale. Um, Trading View is running a big sale. If you want to upgrade to Plus, it's $100 for the whole year. $100 for the whole year to upgrade to Plus or whatever the first one, Essential, whatever it's called. They're running it for Independence Week. So starting, I don't know when it started, but I got the notification today. If you guys want to upgrade it, you guys can go right ahead and do that. Does anybody have any questions for me? Oh, let's talk about news for a moment, for a quick moment. Today was a very busy news day, right? We had Jerome Powell, we had the Bank of Japan spoke today, Bank of England, Bailey spoke today. Um, it's a bank holiday in Canada. What bank holiday? We got manufacturing PMI at 10 o'clock in about 6 minutes. Joel's jobs, of course, first for the month. And we should be having today is Tuesday, which means that tomorrow we have ADP. Boom, right there. And then Friday we'll have non-farm. Wait a minute. Oh, because it's a holiday, you're right. So this week, non-farm payroll will be on Thursday, not Friday. All right? Because we have a holiday on Friday. We have the 4th of July. 4th of July, we have non-farm on the 3rd of July, which is Thursday, just because Friday's a holiday. All right, so we got a short trading week, nothing crazy going on. And then next week we'll pick up. And the other thing that's also performing, the markets are performing really well for, is because there's still hints and talks that for July we might see the first rate cut, which is going to be big. And to be honest, if I even get a whiff that we're going to cut rates in July, I'm going to take a big trade. I'm going to go and I'm going to start do the opening, do what I got to do and take that trade because that's going to be bullish AF. All right. So that's going to be good. Anybody have any questions from me, fam? You guys are all good? You guys are all cleared up? Any questions? Now we're good. All right, beautiful. So in terms of trades, I got no trades. I mean, and we're pretty high up. It's still continuing to break to the upside. I still see US 30, right? Continuing to climb to back up here and hitting somewhere in 45,000 again. Very doable. And same thing for S&P. S&P is at all-time highs. It might continue to trend, right? I think this week will be a week that will just continue to be bullish and continue to close at higher highs every single day. So if I'm going to follow that trend, this will be the week to do it. All right, beautiful people. Remember that Osprey FX closes on the 7th of July. Make sure you get all of your funds out of it ASAP. All right. All right, family. Have a great rest of your week. Happy 4th of July. For your weekend, be safe. Much love to all of you. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.